Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Average Joe Dividends YouTube channel. This is the video everyone's been waiting for, where I pick 5 stocks and I deposit $20 each into those stocks for a total of $100. Most weeks I deposit $200 total, and in the first part of the week I let M1 do the picking. And what I mean by that is using auto invest, and where the money goes depends on the actuals and my target percentages for my slices. So you can see this slice, the dividend portfolio, is underweighted, so all new monies would go into this slice. But again, like I said, for this video I picked 5 different stocks. You'll see what those are in just a second. So we'll take a look at let's go to the all-time performance of this portfolio, and I'll kind of explain where this all began. It really began September 13, 2017, when I opened up this M1 account. And just to let you know, the total right now, this is 15% of my total net worth. I recommend that you start with a big base of ETFs like VTI-VU, like in an S&P 500 index, or a total stock market index like Vanguard's VTI or VTSAX. But of course, what I'm saying, this is not advice. I'm just telling you what I've done to kind of build up my net worth and build this portfolio as well. So back to this portfolio. As we can see, this started September 2017, and what I was doing is I just put in just a couple $100 to start out this portfolio, kind of feeling my way with individual stock investing. And the reason why I got interested in it was kind of looking into dividend stock investing. And I don't just do dividend stock investing. I do investment in growth, in like VTI-VU and total stock market, like I was explaining before. But I wanted to kind of generate kind of an income source through stocks, and I dabbled a little bit in real estate, and that didn't really interest me. I had some bad tenants, and I got out of that game after a few years. And so I just want to concentrate in dividend stock investing, but not my sole way of investing. I invest in my Vanguard taxable brokerage account, IRA, as well as a 401k. But we can see, I just want to show you the history of this. And what I was doing is I was just taking just my extra money per month. I kind of gave myself a little allowance of a couple $100 a month, and that was just to buy things I wanted, and just kind of blow money on whether it was video games or equipment for my bikes or for my drums or things like that, just hobbies. And what I was doing was I wasn't spending that money, and I was also selling some things on eBay, so I had some extra money. And so I was applying it towards this portfolio. You can see it just modestly grew over the next couple years. And then I got a little more serious with it, especially when the pandemic rolled around. We can see, let's fast forward there, we're still below $10,000. But then I kind of more rapidly put in a little bit more money into this account. We can see it growing because the stock market was down, and I knew it was eventually going to rebound. And so I started really putting it more aggressively into this dividend portfolio. And you can see here's a sharp rise. And what happened here was, the event in my life was a divorce. And in the divorce, I did not want the house. So what I did get was I got some equity out of the house, and I put it into this portfolio. And that's the reason for the major jump here. And we can see then it still keeps going up, and I was more modestly putting money into this. And right now, like I said before, what I'm doing is about $200 per week for a total of around $800 a month. Sometimes it's a little bit more if I have some extra money, or if I think the market's going down, I'll kick in a little bit more. You can see though, it's going up steadily. We've had some dips in here, October 2023, and there's a dip here April 2024, and then some more August 2024. But generally you can see the direction of the portfolio, and really the stock market in general, has been up and to the right. and we'll just kind of go look at the 1 year. And I haven't put any big dumps into this. Just again, mostly $200 per week, and you can see just it's still on a steady rise. We're not quite where we were at the all-time highs of late November, but it looks like we could return there. But we don't know. We could go back down. Who knows where the market's headed? So I just kind of want to give you a little bit of a history on this dividend portfolio, and we'll also look at the dividends that it is generating. But before we get there, let's go to the activity log. We'll see what I bought with that $100 deposit. We can see there it is right there, $100 deposit, but there were 7 buys for $132.83, and the reason for that is there were 2 dividends that came in this morning with Fifth Third and O, and those are going to be dripped right back into Fifth Third and O. And let's click here and see what those 7 buys were. And it looks like one of the buys, though, yeah, there's the drips. O is one of those, and Fifth Third. So we'll see the $20 ones, or in the case of Pepsi, that I had 22 cents left over. I put that into Pepsi. So we're going to click on these one by one and see the fractional shares that were purchased, and then we're going to see how this increased my dividend income going forward, and we'll look at some historicals of the dividends as well. We'll also even look at my total net worth. So we'll click on Starbucks, the first one. So the $20 deposit, that bought 0.21493 of a share, and these are of course fractional shares, but even these fractional share buys are going to make a difference in the next dividends. Hershey's, $20, that bought 0.13198 of a share of Hershey's. Then Fifth Third, again, this is a dividend drip, so that 1930, that bought 0.44044 of a share of Fifth Third, so nearly a half a share with a dividend drip there with Fifth Third. Then A.O. Smith, $20, bought 0.28198 of a share of A.O. Smith. And then Pepsi, the 2022, that bought 0.1404 of a share of Pepsi. So we're buying more fractional shares of Hershey's and Pepsi, with those 2 struggling as of late. And then Realty Income, this dividend drip, bought nearly a quarter share of O Realty at 0.24948. And then the last one is Costco at $19.99. Since that share price is so high, it's M1 sometimes can't resolve a penny or two, so that's why we got the $19.99. It has to buy a certain amount of it, and that last penny just couldn't be resolved. So you can see, though, it bought a tiny portion of Costco, 0.0216 of a share of Costco. And even though Costco, a lot of people say it's quite expensive, but there's no really good time to buy Costco. We'll take a look at that, and we'll see the shares that I own of it. Even though we bought a 0.02 share, 0.02 of a share of Costco, we'll just take a look at what I have of it, and we'll see here. We'll scroll down. There we go. No, that's not correct. We're on Realty Income. For some reason, I clicked on the wrong thing. We'll go back to Costco. There we go. Just must have missed it in the click. Sorry about that. I wish I owned 50 shares of Costco. So Costco, I own 2.64984, and this is mostly because of just buying these little fractional shares of Costco here and there, as well as doing dividend drips as well. We can see here the dividends earned. Let's go to all time on that. So I've earned a total of $79.51 of dividends with Costco, and most of those are the special dividends from Costco. So, and if you're interested to see what's in this dividend portfolio, I'll leave a link below to my M1 Pies. You can just click on it and then see all these positions. You'll see the allocation that I have for each of these, but SCHD is the largest portion of the portfolio at just over $100,000. But I want to click on over to my Google Docs spreadsheet. This is where I track all the positions within this portfolio as well as my other investments as well. I'll leave a link below to this so you can see what all I'm invested in and not just this dividend portfolio. But we can see here it has the company ticker symbol, the share price using a Google Finance function. Here's the average share price I bought into each of these positions. Here's the number of shares I own. Here's the value. Here's my cost basis. Here's my gain or loss for each position. Here's the gain or loss expressed in a percentage. Anything 25% or above will be in green. Everything below the 25% will be in white. Anything in red is a loss. Let's take a look at Hershey's, where take a look at the current share price of Hershey's is way down to 152, but look at my average cost into it. So I'm kind of averaging down into Hershey's at this lower rate. Here's the dividend per share, and these are all quarterly except for my monthly pairs, which are O and BSD. Those are in blue. Here's the current yield. Here's the yield on my cost. And then here is the pay date. Everything on this sheet is arranged by the pay date from oldest to newest. So once Apple announces their new dividend, I will put that in there, or their dividend pay date. I add 1 day because M1 has a 1-day delay for when they pay you. So for Apple, again, I'll put that in there, +1, and then reshuffle the deck, and then these dividends just keep repaying. So once they pay, they don't stop. They just keep paying. Just like, O and Fifth Third, those just rolled in this morning, but on the 18th, I'll have a new one from Digital Realty. It just keeps on coming. These dividends just keep rolling in without fail. Of course, if a company were to cut or suspend their dividend, I'll cut them right out of the portfolio. I want dividend payers in this portfolio, and ones that actually increase their dividends year over year, and most of the companies that I have in here do that like clockwork. And so you can see here on the dividend portion, you can see the next dividend, and then I've hard-coded in A.O. Smith, Costco. These are where I've put in the $20 buys into those. So we're going to see the next dividend for those go up. Hershey's as well. That was one of the selections. We're going to see O Realty and also Fifth Third. Those go up because of those dividend drips. And then Starbucks as well. We're also going to see the monthly cash flow average change, the quarterly and the annual. And how this changes, I haven't updated my sheet yet with those new fractional shares and my cost basis and my average price that I bought into these. And how I do this, rather than type in those amounts for those positions, those 7 positions where I bought fractional shares with the drips or the $100 deposit, I could type those in manually. Or I can grab that data right here from the holdings tab on M1, grab everything from the name column, and on my sheet, it automatically updates it. So I'm going to copy this data over from M1. And if you have an M1 account with a whole bunch of positions like I do, you can use my sheet and it'll automatically update it. That's if you have your ticker symbols and your company, everything updated on your sheet the same way. And if you need help with it, I'll be happy to help you out with it. So like I said, it's going to change these amounts here for the next dividends, as well as the cash flow averages, the monthly, quarterly, and annual. So I'm going to paste that into the M1 data tab, and it's going to automatically change those values. We've pasted that in there, and really it's pasted into the A column, and then it's aligning each of the positions. You can see what SCHD didn't change because we didn't buy additional shares of those, but for the positions that did, those 7, those have changed. Let's go back to the dividend portfolio tab, and I'll show you what I mean. And we're going to read these off, and we'll see what the next dividends are going to be for these. For A.O. Smith, for example, old dividend 457 moving up to 467. Costco, the old dividend 305 is going to move up to 307. And with Costco, it doesn't move the needle much because we have a yield of 0.5%. So, hey, moving it 2 cents for Costco is not bad. I'll take it. And then next up, Hershey is moving from 11.47 to 11.65. This will be the next dividend, of course, in March. And then scrolling on down to O Realty, old dividend 13.32, now 13.38. And we can see Fifth Third moving from 19.30 to 19.46. These will be the new dividend for O is a monthly payer, so it's going to be in the middle of February. We'll get that 13.38, and then 3 months later in April, middle of April, Fifth Third is going to be 19.46. And then same with Starbucks, 10.79 to 10.93. I believe we beat that ex-dividend date in there, so at the end of February, we'll get that 10.93. Let's go over the new monthly cash flow average. We're moving from 1,035.45 now to 1,035.78. And then quarterly, we're going to move from 3106.34 to 3107.33. And then annual from 12,425.36 to 12,429.31. So you can see these are just increments. They're small increments, but these are happening on a nearly daily basis, these increments. So we're going to take that 1,035.78 because I track the monthly cash flow average on another tab to show this progress with the $100 deposit, the O and Fifth Third dividend drip. So 1,035.78. We'll go back. We'll go down to the bottom of the sheet here, because every event I put here, it was 1,035.78. So quite nice. Change to monthly income. We added 34 cents going forward with those two events right there. So anytime there's a drip, a deposit, let's see some other events. Oop, let's undo that. I was clicking like crazy there, too fast. So yeah, dividend drips, and we haven't had a dividend increase for a little bit, but it looks like the last one I can at least see here, I may be missing one, but Broadcom. So we have those events with deposits, dividend increases, and drips, things like that. Just keep on increasing this average monthly dividend. So this is pretty much this is a monthly paycheck on average from this portfolio. And even if I stopped depositing into this dividend portfolio and I took all the dividends out of it and drew it, this would still go up because of the dividend increases, but it's going to go up faster since I'm dripping into the portfolio and I'm still depositing money into the portfolio to buy more shares into the portfolio. So you can see that. So let's go on over to my dividend tracker tab. And I've been doing these videos since January 2021, so a little, just about 4 years there. Here's the dividend portfolio. It was at 18.7 at that amount, and I received 37.41 for January 2021. Of course, I'm receiving a lot more. You can see the last full month that paid me, December 2024, was $1,750, and we're up to $99.52 in total dividends being paid. I have a lot more dividends to receive there. We'll look at like January 2024. We will likely beat that, the 611.08, by the time we're done with this. And then here's the average monthly dividend. You can see it from a year ago is at $917.31, so we've made that progress there at $1,035.78. And we've added $1.21 to the monthly dividend income to the portfolio just in the month of January, for a month-over-month gain of 0.12%. And the annual dividend, you can see how it just keeps climbing. We're at $12,429.31. And then we've added an annual increase of $14.47 so far in the month of January, adding that $100. Deposits up to $500. So to close out this video, we're going to go to my total net worth statement here. And like I said, the M1 portfolio, this is 15% of my total net worth. And so we'll look at what the rest of it consists of. And of course, again, what I'm investing in is not investment advice. I'm just trying to show you guys over time. You can historically go back to my first video and see what I've been doing. And I just want to lay this out so people can go back in time, and if they want to build a dividend portfolio and see how it's done, hey, it's right here. The blueprints are right here. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to invest in the same companies as me. Maybe there's better companies to invest in, or different ones. Maybe you can do it better than I can, and it's a choose your own adventure. So let's start out with what I have over at Vanguard. I have an IRA, a Roth brokerage account, a taxable account as well. I have right now 474,000 and change over there at Vanguard in those investments. Excuse me. Let me get a quick drink here real quick. I'm still recovering from my cold. I've been talking a lot, so apologize for that. And then over at T Rowe, I have a 401k and an S&P 500 index, and that's at 101,574. Excuse me. And over at M1, I have an IRA there as well as my taxable brokerage account at 708 and change. Here's the dividend portfolio on that line. Here's my 1-year emergency fund over at M1. And then here's my 6-month emergency fund over at Synchrony. Here's 2 months of spending over at Capital One. I need to move this 3,500 out soon, but I have to pay some things off, and I'm waiting for another paycheck. We'll see how much I move over there. Here's the value of my home. I don't really put a whole lot of importance into this, just kind of tracking it against what I owe on it, because I want to pay off my home early. Here's the balance of my credit card, which I pay off each and every month. So I do not accrue interest, but I've been in situations, I was in my 20s, I did pay credit card interest, and I was in credit card debts. Also had a small student loan, but right now my only thing I owe money on right now is on my mortgage. And you can see what that amount is at. What I may do is pay this off with this right here. You can see that totals to 184. I could pay this off and pay off sell it and pay off the mortgage. But I'm waiting for it to get around 190, so then I can pay off the tax liability on it as well. Maybe have a little bit extra. Here's my total net worth, subtracting out my liabilities. And getting close to that 1.8 million again. I was well over it, but then we had the market go down. Here's the breakdown in stocks, home equity, and cash. Here it is in pre-tax and after-tax as well, that division, and U.S. and international. And then here's my total average monthly dividend. This includes all investments, IRA, 401k, and also includes interest from cash. So that totaled close to $3,500. With my home paid off, I could pretty easily live off of this alone. So tracking that. And then my total net worth, we can see I started really tracking it here. And you can see what it is round to the nearest $100 at the close of each month. And just look at the progress I've had and just doing what I've been doing. And that's not investing a ton of money, really. There's no windfall into my life. There's no inheritance. I didn't win the lottery, anything like that. It's just my prior investments just going up over time and doing pretty much what the market does, with no surprises. So we're not done yet in January. I had my first paycheck, and it's going to be a little bit weird in January because our payroll system was changed. Before it was 2 paychecks per month every month, but now they've moved it now to where it's in 2 months I will receive 3 paychecks. So it's going to be smaller paychecks, but more of them. I forget the terms. There's bi-weekly, semi-annual, and all that. I'm moving from one to the other, but it all adds up. Over the year, it'll add up to the same. But anyway, that's all I had to show you guys for this video. Thank you for sticking to the end of the video. Please click the like button if you got any value from it. I know I get views and there's not, the like ratio is not great. Maybe that's on me, but help me out and click the like button. Also subscribe so you do not miss future videos. And likely my next video will be my Monday buy video where I deposit $100 and then it uses auto invest. And so I don't know where it's going to go into. It takes the emotion out of it. And here again were my buys. The ones that are $20 or around $20 in Pepsi's case, those were my choices of what to invest in. Fifth, third, and O, those were dividend drips. So thanks again, everyone, for watching the video. I hope everyone has a great rest of the week and weekend. Everybody take care.